All right, folks. Now, we've been talking about this one for a long time, but I would like to read you an article from Breitbart. I said Breitbart. I meant Breitbart. This one is an important one. I'm going to read this to you. Actually, I'm going to read portions of it to you. The article is entitled Global Food Crisis. IMF Warns of Unrest Amid Food Supply Shortages. Now, let me read what this says here. It is very important. The IMF has become the most recent global body to release a warning regarding potentially forthcoming global food shortages, saying that the vulnerable nations are at risk of civil unrest amid supply issues. I will talk about the vulnerable nations in a minute. They say apparently the United States is not one of the vulnerable nations, but I think they're the most vulnerable, or one of the most vulnerable, thanks to Flashbang and his current regime being in office. But let me read this to you, right? This is kind of important. I want you guys to catch what they're saying. They're saying civil unrest linked to sky-high food prices is on the cards for poorer countries. The IMF has warned amid fears that the world would or could be heading into a global food crisis as a result of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. It's amazing to me how they're blaming Russia, Ukraine as a result of the food crisis, when the reality of it is the food crisis is a direct result of the globalists trying to destroy the global supply chain to eliminate that so that they can create their new world order. That's the reality of it. But listen what the article says. The article continues to say, amid past warnings of starvation and hell on earth, migrant crisis over a lack of food, the international finance body has predicted that growth across the world will be negatively affected, with poorer nations in particular to feel the brunt of the ongoing crisis. According to a post on the organization's website, a mix of high inflation and supply problems are to greatly slow economic growth across the world, with vulnerable economies in particular to be hit with the brunt of the hardship. And they go on to say this: the crisis unfolds even as the global community has not yet fully recovered from the pandemic. And they go on to talk more and more and more. They babble on. But the reality of it is, I want you to understand something. These people are warning of something that will inevitably happen, but the reason why it's inevitably going to happen has nothing to do with the things that they are citing. It has everything to do with the fact that they created this condition, have been wanting to create the condition, and in my opinion, it is sort of a micro occurrence of the third seal in the book of Revelation that talks about the rider on the black horse. And I think that the economic failure that we're continuing to begin to watch take place is going to affect every aspect. But yet, if you notice, there is a large, wealthy, ruling class that will continue on because they're the ones that are propagating this nonsense. And folks, we continue to see evidence that this is happening. I would simply say this: be prepared. Please be prepared. I have a locals page that you can go to where I did a list of things that you can prepare for. I did that with Monkey. We made that available for all of our supporters. We also did a live broadcast last week where we talked about this. So critically important. Be prepared. Folks, we need to have the kind of minds that Joseph did, where he saw problems coming and was prepared for those problems. It's so critical, and we need to keep our eyes up because we know Jesus is coming soon. God bless you guys. Love you. Please, please take what I'm saying seriously. It's important. God bless you.